Hey there, Bear Club! At the Mama Bear Initiative, we explore how to protect ourselves so we can protect our cubs, the people who depend on us. Join us and get the confidence you need to stay safe, make good choices, and protect yourself and those you care about. Let's go!
Wow. Everything just got way blurrier.
She took her glasses off in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's one
I
of
saw
those
that.
days. Like some days I'm blurrier than other days. As far as like I feel like it's diabetes related. Also, I just didn't sleep very well last night, so even though I took a nap, I still feel kind of
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize why old people get up at the crack of dawn
Why is that?
and go
Do
to
tell.
bed. Go to bed at 4:30.
4:30.
Is this what I have to look forward to?
Seems excessive. But
No, no,
okay.
When
wait,
I'm as old as you? Wait a minute.
You're older than me.
Shh.
Let's keep the order right here. No, because my body just randomly wakes up at 4:30 in the morning for no good reason.
Well, stop it. Get some help.
And last night I couldn't get to sleep as well. Like it was around midnight. And then I woke up at 6. I think I might have awakened a little earlier than that, but then I was awake at 6:30 like,
Time to go.
time to get up. No, I don't have to get up till 8. I don't have
Look, you're
to.
like-
I don't have to get up till 8. Why are you awake, body?
And then
You only-
your body's like, go
you only
get the
slept-
coffee.
You only slept like 6 hours. What are you doing awake? My body's like, hey.
Your body is Fat Albert.
I didn't say that.
Well, you would yes.
And for those of us Gen Xers who happen to watch that show, because that popped into my head too.
Well, at any rate, yeah. So I didn't get enough sleep, so my eyes are blurrier. You guys are just kind of hazy blobs. So am I on my screen over here.
Hazy
Oh,
blobs.
really?
Yeah, Michelle's a red blob. Evelyn's kind of a white blob. I have a dark brown blob. I don't know.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, whatever. We're here. We're doing this thing. How's everybody's day?
All right, I guess.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Super busy at work.
Yeah.
And this one project that I have usually like 2 or 3 days a week. I was getting like different iterations of it, like 3 or 4, just one right after the other. I'm like, what's going on? But yeah, so some surprises and yeah, but here we are.
Here we are. Oh,
Here we are.
I'm trying to mess with the settings. Oh, wait,
Excuse me. Itchy eye.
because you're really loud, Evelyn.
Oh,
When you talk your normal volume, you're really loud in general. Just saying.
I'll try that.
Okay, I gotta put my glasses on. Sorry about the blue blur. I can't see the screen at all. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
I mean, I could talk a little softer if that helps.
Not exactly, no.
No, that doesn't really help.
Ah, there we are. There we are. Okay, I can turn you down a little bit so you're not so loud in my ear. There we go. Okay, wow. Now you're not blobs.
Wow.
I can see your
We're not
faces.
blobs.
I feel like a Borg with my blue lens.
Well, I just feel so encouraged knowing I'm not
Oh, wow.
actually a blob.
Oh wow, you're so loud, Evelyn.
Honestly, I'll turn it down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Singer's lungs so loud. Yeah. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
I'm Rochelle Knapp.
Thanks for joining us today for this podcast episode. We're finishing up our little tiny series on D words. We did I was gonna say differentiation, but that's not right. That's a D.
Defensiveness.
That's
That
a
is
D
a D
word.
word, though, and a darn good one.
Defensiveness, denial, and now we're going to do deflection.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's discuss deflection. What is it? Why do we do it? How do we avoid it? It's because it's not cool. Not cool. Who wants to define it? Don't everybody
That's
jump in
not
at
it.
once. I'll do it.
Thank you.
Evelyn did it the last time.
Yeah.
She defined denial.
I define denial.
Yeah.
Not the river.
Okay, so I'll take
Okay.
my glasses off, go back to the blur.
Go back to the blur.
And we'll go back to being blobs. Let's go.
I hope you're not recorded as blobs because I hope other people can see your faces.
I'm pretty sure they can.
Oh, good. My
I can
poor
see
eyesight
Evelyn's
doesn't
face.
affect the rest of the world. What are you saying?
No.
So, Steph, what, pray tell, is deflection?
Deflection. Well, let's see. When you're deflecting something, you're pushing it back, basically. So if someone's about to hit you and you put your arm up to stop it, you're deflecting the blow, right? So that's a
Yes.
physical interpretation of what that word means. In our case, when we're talking about trauma recovery, deflection will look like when you've done something wrong or hurtful, pushing the blame back on somebody else. Well, you did this to me, so I had to do that to you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which makes you the victim in the circumstance, and that's why it's harmful. Because if you actually did something hurtful to someone else and they could confront you about it and you deflect blame or responsibility or anything back at the person confronting you, you're furthering the harm.
Yeah.
You're making it worse, actually.
Yeah.
And I think denial and defensiveness go along with this because they all kind of work together.
Yeah.
You're in denial about the hurt you caused, and you're defensive because you feel like a victim. And if somebody says something to you about, say our last example was about me trying to pluck your chin hairs without asking.
Yeah.
If I had acted defensively or in denial, or in this case, deflecting, I could have said something like, well, you never told me I couldn't. It was me that made the assumption.
Right.
Right? So if I don't want to take responsibility, I'm going to throw it back at you and say it was your fault because you didn't tell me ahead of time that I shouldn't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I never asked if it was okay. I just assumed it was. And then, so that's pretty much how I think of deflection. You guys have anything to add to that?
Yeah. A couple of things came to mind. When I was first thinking about the term deflection, I actually looked it up. And one of the examples was of a soccer ball coming toward the goal and the goalie deflecting it. And I was thinking about that kind of as we're trying to self-protect. I think it's there again, another maladaptive form of self-protection. It's I need to keep my ego intact. I need to keep this good person image intact. And if something comes in that makes me look like I've done something wrong or done something bad, I need to push it away. I can't allow it to get in.
Right.
And where I would have to deal with it. I think evasiveness too is something that's a form of this, where you're trying to kind of change the subject, or maybe even do sort of like a partial apology. But deep down inside, you're just thinking, all right, I just need to do something differently next time. so I don't
Yeah.
get caught or so I don't get exposed.
Yeah, so non-apology apologies are a form of deflection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry you felt that way.
I was just,
Right.
I was gonna point say, I was just thinking that. I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah. I actually heard somebody say that and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Do you
I'm sorry you took it that way. I heard that one a
Yeah.
lot from my ex-husband.
Well, I didn't intend to hurt you. Like, well,
Mhm.
you did.
Yeah. Kind of like we were talking about with the, in the previous,
Defensiveness.
Defensiveness.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
That may or may not be true.
I'm not going to say too much about the circumstance, but there was a person some time ago that did something wrong that I was in charge of, and two times in a row, and they came back with, well, I didn't mean to, and somehow that absolved them of responsibility for their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really damaging to the relationship for that to go on. And then I was attacked later about basically what a big meanie I was being for confronting the person. But they just kept deflecting responsibility back at me as if somehow it was my fault that they did what they did.
Yeah.
And I've been I get a lot of deflection actually because I'm assertive.
Mm-hmm.
In general, like I've learned how to be assertive. I'm not 100%. I'd say maybe like 70% assertive. There are plenty of situations I'm definitely not assertive in that I'm scared and like whatever. But because I'm assertive, I'll say what I think when I feel it's appropriate. And a lot of times I get back deflection, denial, or defensiveness from the other person. And it can make things not work well between me and the other person.
Yeah.
If they can't take responsibility for what they've done. And I think that's a real shame, because if your ego's so fragile that you can't see where you made a mistake, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be in a relationship. I don't know. It's hard to deal with people in that state of mind, especially when it's a pattern.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
Yeah, so we're actually talking about deflection that we do as trauma survivors.
Yeah.
I mean, I deal with it being assertive, but also me being deflective with other people about, stuff I'm doing as a trauma survivor, because, we have those maladaptive tendencies and patterns that we are unconsciously employing before it's like rapid fire is just happening before we realize it. And this is where therapy really comes in handy, because you start to recognize it more often and put a stop to it. But I think it's like really common in the beginning of learning to deal with your trauma and learning to grow from it. Deflection is a common response to confrontation about something that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know for myself, it's something I struggle with even now, not the temptation to deflect or deflecting without realizing I'm doing it. It's really parlays into defensiveness. Having to stop and think about what I'm doing and taking responsibility is humbling, but it's important because it's part of the growth process. And there's no real excuse for deflection. And if you're taking responsibility for your behavior, I was married to a narcissist and heard all the deflective non-apologies multiple times. So I've been on both sides of the fence, so to speak. And the manipulation you feel about that when it's intentional is really, really like frustrating, because they're being manipulative and trying to serve themselves because they know what they're doing. And I struggle with it myself now to not be deflective, to try to own what I'm doing and doing wrong and trying to fix it. It's not easy to do.
So I have a question. Since you said if they're doing it on purpose and they know it, that it's manipulative. But I wonder if people like us, people who are trying to recover from trauma, are doing it on purpose, do you think? Or are we doing it unconsciously until somebody points it out? And then, how does that work for you guys?
Maybe a better way of putting it, in terms of a narcissist, or doing it with some sort of malice or evil intent. I think someone like myself can do it on purpose, but not with the same intention. It may be the same, it's for the same reason, as far as trying to, like Ev was saying, trying to cover up and not have my whatever ego intact, keep my ego intact. But I think in the terms of a narcissist, I think there's more insidious intent behind it, to hurt you or manipulate you in some way, because it's continuous.
Right. But my question was, if you feel like you do deflection on purpose to manipulate, or do you feel that it's unconscious if you're doing it from a trauma recovery perspective?
It's hard to say, because I do feel it. I do feel the temptation to do it at times, but then sometimes I do it without thinking. I'm not really sure how to answer. It could be both. It could be sometimes it's sometimes entitlement and I don't want to be bothered comes in, and that's definitely purposeful deflection. Sometimes it is unconscious. I just do it without thinking. So it could be both, I guess. It depends on the situation, what's happening in the moment. So I definitely had moments of not wanting to be bothered and trying to deflect. And that's definitely intentionally purposeful. Other times I don't realize I'm doing it, and then I have, not doing it on purpose, so to speak. Still manipulative, but not on purpose.
I think at times when I've been deflective, I just really believe that I wasn't doing that, whatever it is they're saying I'm doing. There's one thing my husband and I went back and forth on for first 15 years of our marriage, which was that I had a tone and I couldn't hear it. And so he'd come in from work and I'd be in the kitchen, and I'd had a rough day with my child and was trying to get dinner done. He comes in and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Bah." Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What's the matter with you?" And he's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "There's nothing wrong with me. Go away." I feel like it's a pretty common problem amongst married people, but he told me for the longest time that I had a tone. And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't have a tone. What are you talking about? There's no tone." And that went on for some time. And then I kind of heard it.
Mhm.
Right? I heard the tone. I genuinely believed I didn't have a tone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I heard it, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a tone." But the thing that he was doing was assigning the tone to the wrong thing. So the tone wasn't about him, the tone was about other things. It's just the mood I was in and feeling pressured and all these other things. And I was responding with a tone, but it wasn't at him or about him. I mean, it was at him, but it wasn't about him.
Right. Yeah.
And then once I realized I was in fact having a tone, I had to start monitoring myself. I have this tendency to get really cranky when I'm feeling pressured to do something, like get dinner done. I mean, you guys know, you've seen me.
Yes. I was nodding my head. Yes, that's true.
I also learned this week for the second time, never do anything before coffee.
True.
Only the second time ever?
Well, I mean, I came downstairs Saturday to get set up for our class, and I cleaned through the living room first, and then I went to go get my breakfast, and I was pissed off.
Yes, you were. It does that. I was like, stay out of her way.
About
She's
nothing.
in a bad mood.
About nothing. I just hadn't had my coffee yet. Anyway, So I had to start monitoring myself, and then when I would hear the tone, I would do something like, I would say something like, "I'm in a really pissy mood. Just don't take anything I say personally."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then started changing the whole tone thing from his perspective. And I feel like I genuinely have calmed down the tone mostly. Like, I feel like I'm mostly calm with people these days, but you know, there was a lot of angst in my life, and I didn't hear the tone. So I think there's been times when I actually deflected back blame on my husband, for example,
Mm-hmm.
where it was intentional, you know. And I think the thing you were talking about, ego, Evelyn, I think it was you.
Yeah.
Where the trauma survivor often has a sense of not being good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the shame thing.
Yes.
And it's very wounding if somebody touches that spot with their words or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't excuse the response, but it definitely explains why you are so touchy and why you want to protect your ego.
Yeah.
Because you already feel bad about yourself.
Yes.
And somebody said something that made you feel worse. Now, I am staunchly against that sort of thing, like defending my ego just because of trauma.
Right.
I know that I have this problem where I don't feel good enough most of the time. So I, again, have to monitor myself to know when that's arising in me and I'm about to be like, bah, at someone.
Yeah.
Because they've dinged my ego.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying I'm 100%, like you guys saw, Michelle saw me anyway, with the non-coffee attitude.
I didn't know what was going on.
I was like in the fridge. Like, who did this? Who put that there? Ah. It's like, oh God,
Yes.
I need coffee.
It's like,
Send
I don't know
help.
what's wrong. I'm just going to be quiet, make my breakfast, and just let her work it out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what was going on at that point.
I hadn't had my coffee. That's what was going on.
You know, Steph, I really think you're onto something with the not feeling good enough. You already feel kind of like, how can I describe this? So for me, it's, I already feel like I'm not quite there. That I don't quite measure up to the people around me, and that I'm trying to sort of like compensate for that or whatever. I'm really trying hard.
Right.
But then, so I'll give an example at work. I had started a new way of working on a project, and I was pretty proud of myself. I was putting, things in there. I thought I was, collapsing the time frame and doing all this stuff. And my supervisor asked me about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. And she goes, actually, that might not be the best way to do that. And it was like I felt it physically, like it hurt. And I felt like, hey, and immediately my thought was, it's fine just the way it is. If she just doesn't know, and it's good. And I need to and if she hadn't said anything, and fortunately she had written it in an email, so she didn't see me at my desk. And so after quietly pitching my little fit in my desk, where thank God no one could see me, I thought, all right, what am I going to do with this? Because right now I'm just, and I knew that I needed to consider what she had to say.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't quite ready to yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, all right, what do I need to do to get there? And I think I may have run up and down the stairs a couple of times. And there's a stairwell outside of our office suites that really comes in handy if you're feeling a certain kind of way. And I came back a little tired and a little better frame of mind. And I thought, yeah, I could see where this might be a problem. Maybe. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I felt like, see, I'm not good enough. It was my, I mean, but I didn't want that to be true. So she doesn't know what she's talking about or whatever, but really, I finally came to, who is she? She's not just my supervisor. She's a very kind and helpful person. And I thought, you know what? She's probably just trying to give me some, like a little bit of a warning, a little bit of good advice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was not my initial response.
Yeah. I think we've all been there. We've all done that. And, I think it's worse in the beginning, like I said, when you're just starting out. We haven't gotten used to the idea that we feel like we're not good enough, and that manifests itself quite a bit in different ways. And as we grow, we start to get used to it, right? And our egos get dinged less often.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said less. Just
a random T in there. I wasn't going to edit it out.
Often. My brain wants to mash together less and often into losten. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure I'm not the only person who has a problem when they're handwriting stuff and they start running words together.
Yes. Relatable.
Like certain ones I'll handwrite together and they're not supposed to be. My mouth does that too. Anyway. Or should I say my brain, because psychology student here. Anyway, if we want to remain as we are and we want to be in denial about where we are and be in denial about our problems, like we were talking last week about addiction and other issues that rise up.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be deflective and not care.
Yeah.
Right. It's easy to be defensive, be in denial. But if you actually care about changing and growing and getting away from these patterns, then, you have to kind of get used to some things about yourself. Like my therapist often says, I know I've mentioned this before on this podcast, which is I'm a good person and I also make mistakes. I'm not sure I fully believe that yet.
I know I don't. I don't fully believe that at all.
You don't fully believe it at all?
I don't fully believe it. Period.
Okay. Okay. Wow, we're just batting 1,000, aren't we?
We are.
Three tired middle-aged women.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I think, how do you get over being deflective? Well, you have to be okay with making mistakes.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same for all three of them, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you need to understand that you do make mistakes. You will make mistakes. And that's okay. That's what I struggle with is, and that's okay, because I tend to go to shaming. But to tell myself it's okay. When there was a step in recovery, people who are in recovery, there's a part that says when we're wrong, we promptly admit it. When we're wrong, and my
not if,
and it's not when I'm wrong, I promptly deflect it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think being honest has been huge for me, because being honest, instead of protect that veneer, that thin attempt at self-protection becomes this more like you open the curtain and go, okay, here's what's really going on here. Yes, I did say that thing. Yes, I did do that thing. And then it opens the way for a true apology and then reconciliation potentially, as opposed to it's you, and they end up losing relationships.
Yeah, like, why do you have such strict rules? Like, that's deflection.
Yeah, or why are you so sensitive? Or why does that bother you? It doesn't bother anybody else. What's wrong with you?
Right. It was just a joke.
Yeah. I mean, I'm your best friend. Of course I pluck your chin hairs without asking you first. What?
Yes.
But
no.
No.
I think it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for people to own their responsibility for things. I know it is for me. It's something I'm trying to grow in. Stop and think and not react immediately with deflection or defensiveness. Deflection is a little bit less intense, I think, than defensiveness is, but they're still kind of similar. You have to really stop and think about what's going on. And I hear it at work from other people all the time. The excuses, the deflection is just like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to keep doing my job and not say anything. It's not my place. Yesterday, there's this kid that works there, and he's complaining about the manager. And I know the circumstances she's under. She worked Saturday night, had to stay over till 3 a.m., had to be back in at 2 yesterday. He was very, very tired. And he's like, she's making me mad, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and I said to him, because she asked him to do something, and he's like, I can't remember what he said, but something deflective and something frustrating. And I'm like, she just asked you to do something, buddy. It's not like she's demanding anything of you. She's trying to get things done because we're busy. He's like, oh, yeah, I know, but she shouldn't have said that for this reason, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, she's the boss right now. It doesn't matter. She didn't ask you to do anything unreasonable. She has to do something that we normally do every day.
Yeah.
And it just happens pretty consistently. Like, people deflect or get mad or frustrated or whatever.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, especially with the defensiveness, is this idea of taking things personally, where the comment, this person's being told what to do, they're mad because they're tired, because they worked so much. But they're taking the request to do X thing personally as a personal attack on them.
Right.
Rather than it's just a normal Monday.
Right.
And you're just being told what to do, like you're supposed to be told what to do.
Yeah.
By your bosses. And I feel like that's the not good enough filter. It's like installed. It's like the first thing that something goes through in your brain. It gets filtered through that first.
Yeah.
Right? And then you react with, defectiveness.
Well, there's usually some of that too.
I just put deflection and defensiveness in the same word.
Good job. And boy.
You're really combining those words together, Steph.
My brain wants to run everything together.
We could add another D for next week, defectiveness.
We're just defective people.
That's all. The end. Thanks for joining us.
We're defective. Goodbye.
One thing that I noticed, Rochelle, as you were giving that example, and I have definitely been guilty of this, is I'm saying I'm okay. They shouldn't have done that to me. They need to change.
Yes, so that's exactly what I was trying to get at. Thank you
others
for
to
verbalizing
change.
that. Yeah.
And, have I done that? Oh, man. That was such a pattern because I was convinced I was right. And if that person, usually somebody really close to me, like my mom, I'm thinking about my mom in particular. She's such a sweetheart. She's put up with so much for me. So many apologies. Anyway.
Well, you are her baby, so.
Yeah. Anyway, I love my mommy. Where was I going with this? Anyway, I would I would be in a sort of a grumpy mood, and she would say something, and I would. She's like, "What are you barking at?" I'd be like, "Why did you say that?" And she goes, "Why did you act that way?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm expecting her to not. I'm expecting her to do all the things to prop me up so I don't feel bad."
Right.
Yeah.
That's very immature. Geez, am I too? You know.
Before your coffee, yes, you're 2, and your blankies in the washer.
Man, I'm feeling that today. Anyway,
is the deflection and the sort of what you're talking about the same thing? Like reacting a certain way to someone because of how you feel, and then they're not doing anything like wrong per se. They're just being themselves. Is it this kind of the same thing?
Yeah.
I'm actually asking because I'm a little confused.
Well, yeah, no, Evelyn's talking about similar to my story about my tone. Fran's experiencing a tone from me because I'm in a bad mood. He's not doing anything wrong. He just said hello, but I'm coming back at him with rah. Yeah. And I think it's pretty, I don't know if it's exactly deflection, but it feels pretty similar. Like you're putting the blame for why you're acting the way you're acting on someone else.
Yes. And the responsibility for change onto them.
They should change because of this. They should change the rules just for me.
Change themselves for me.
Change themselves. And then so I'm not responsible for my changing. I'm trying to get everyone else around me to change so I don't have to.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's a worse kind of deflection in my opinion.
Yeah. Entitlement too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's definitely entitlement in all of this. But that specific kind of entitlement, I'm entitled to be left alone, or I'm entitled to be treated a certain way. Like you expect your mom to, read your mind and know that you're in a bad mood and then leave you alone when she's just being perky. And it's not to say you can't have a conversation if you know for sure you don't want to be bothered first thing in the morning. You take back the responsibility on yourself. And you have a conversation with the other person and say, hey, I really want to talk to you, but generally speaking, I'm not in a mood to talk to anyone until after my first cup of coffee. So if you wouldn't mind maybe holding back a little bit until I've had coffee, I'll give you a signal, let you know it's safe to talk to me.
I work with somebody who consistently has a tone, as it were, and is consistently agitated. And nothing ever changes at my job. It's always the same every single day. I mean, first shift's different from second shift. The days are different, but everything pretty much stays the same. And same tone every day, same irritated tone every single day, no matter what I say to this person. And I've called them on it multiple times. I'm like, you don't need to speak to me that way. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just asking you a question. It doesn't do me any good. He's constantly placing the blame on everything else, everybody else. It's not him, it's them. I don't know what his expectations are about the job being different. He's been there for 5 years, something like that. So he knows what's going to be like when he walks in, but yet he still continues to act like everything's everybody else's fault. I shouldn't be this frustrated. I shouldn't be this agitated. But he also brings it on himself because he won't let anybody help him. He won't be a team. He won't let people jump in and help out. He'll just try to do it all himself. So it's this constant frustration of putting stress on yourself for no apparent reason that I can see. I don't know if there's some weird sense of over responsibility or whatever it is, but
it's maladaptive, whatever it is.
Yeah. And very frustrating for everybody else because we're all like, I like the guy, he's a good person, but when he's not there, it's a little bit of a relief. Because things just get done and no one complains and no one has to listen to his irritated tone or be talked to in that way. Or if I want to ask him a question, I don't like asking him questions anymore because I get this sort of irritated brush off answer.
Yeah.
So I don't go to him unless I have to. And that's just extremely... go ahead, Steph.
I was just going to say, if he's turning around and pointing the fingers at everybody else in his environment as to why he sounds that way, that's definitely deflection. And it sounds like he's defensive and in denial.
He's got all three going on.
That trifecta.
Not that I'm diagnosing this person because I don't know them from Adam, but
Right.
just based on what you're telling us, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going on inside this person as far as why they feel the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the hallmarks of Christianity is the 1 Corinthians 13 list about what love is like, and also the Galatians. I always get it wrong. Is it 5:6 or 6:5?
Yes.
Well, it's what it's a list of the
Super
fruits of the
helpful.
Spirit.
I'm not sure. I think it's
It's a list of the fruits of the
5.
Spirit in either one of those chapters.
Yeah.
At any rate, patience is one of them.
Yeah.
Right? And we have to develop patience for other people, but also for ourselves.
Yeah.
And, that whole mistake thing, like I'm a good person and I make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be willing to accept the mistakes. It's not, excuse me, my cheesesteak's coming back to haunt me.
Lovely. Yeah.
The haunted, scary cheesesteaks.
It was delicious.
Ooh, cheesesteaks.
It went.
Lovely.
It barked at the
That was
microphone.
that was
Rochelle
its ghost
sneezing.
sound.
Sorry.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Talking about the fruits of the Spirit, I think, which is
the Spirit, patience,
Galatians 5:22, by the way.
accept.
5:23.
Oh, so it is chapter 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, 5:22, not 5:6. What?
The whole
All right.
chapter is good. Anyway.
Anyways.
Whatever. Read the whole thing. Yeah. So, if we take our mistakes, if we take our actions as a character assassination, like we're bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not that we made a mistake or we are a mistake, however you want to think about it. That we have to have patience for that, undoing that. Like, it's one of the hardest things to undo. Is this idea that we're not mistakes and we're not bad per se. Right. I mean, if you're a Christian, you understand that you have sin in your heart, you're born that way, and you have propensity for doing bad things, that kind of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not fundamentally bad.
Yeah.
There it is.
God made me good. He's good. He lives in me, so that makes me good, even though I make mistakes sometimes and I do things that are hurtful sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I have to melt myself down into shame.
Right.
I can own up to my mistake and I can be responsible for my behavior, and I can, choose to honor the other person's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And recognize that their feelings are just as important as mine.
Right. Right. And a lot of times the appropriate thing is to set myself aside, and to focus on them, but not set yourself aside like you're bad, whatever, but
it's not a punishment.
Right. Which, oh man, I come from a whole lifetime of being punished and then punishing myself.
Yeah.
But I'm learning, I'm very new at this, but I'm learning to, when I get called out on something, which is pretty frequent, which is good, I acknowledge this is good. And I want to push it away. And usually my first is like, okay, fine, and then I ask God to help me. And that's new too, because what I would do historically until very recently is, oh no, I did this bad thing. I have to fix it. I have to make it right. I have to do something. and then usually just make it worse or make it weird. And these two ladies can attest to that, numerous examples. But what I've been training in, shall we say, is hearing it, letting it come in, sort of like the goalie who steps aside and lets the ball come in the net, to let it come in, and then immediately turn to God and go, all right, what's going on here? Help me to see it as it is, not as I wish it was, to see myself as I am, not as I wish I was. And what do you want me to do with this? And it's actually a relief. Deflection, just like denial, just like defensiveness, can feel good for a moment. It's like giving vent to your anger immediately. There's that like quick relief and release, and then there's that ugh that comes in. Whereas it's like opposite with this, where you let the pain come in first, it hurts first, and then the good comes from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's hard.
I'll tell you one thing that's kind of cured me of being afraid of making mistakes is martial arts training.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly making mistakes with that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't learn something new without making mistakes. It's kind of impossible. Because mistakes are supposed to be a learning opportunity, not an indictment or an assassination.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not supposed to kill you. It's supposed to cure you.
Yeah.
Right? So if you look at making mistakes as, I'm bad and I can't ever change or grow or become a better person, or how dare they make me change? I like myself the way I am, whatever it happens to be. If you don't feel like you can grow for whatever reason, mistakes are going to feel like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it's like evidence that I really am terrible.
Right.
And because mistakes inevitably happen when you're learning something new, you really have to get over that.
Yeah.
It's hard, but yes, doable. The thing that gets me about the I'm a bad person thing is there are people who will empathize, but in a way of not like in a way of like telling you you make mistakes, but you're a good person. You make mistakes. It's like, well, you're not a bad person. It's okay. Empathy or some sympathy, but in a way that still placates the deflection and the ego. Oh, you're not a bad person. Oh, it's okay. And you're like, no, it's not okay to have bad behavior. Okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. And I can see why people would do that, because they want they want to make the person feel better. I guess it could be classified as a people pleaser or something like that.
Yeah, like a weird fawning kind of thing.
Fawning, yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is I think is a type of fawning, like, you're okay, you're not bad, you just made a mistake or something like that. And I guess trying to understand, like you were saying, Steph, trying to understand you're a good person, but you make mistakes is really tough, and you still should take responsibility. You don't get off the hook because either way, you're not off the hook. Like, you have to own up to it and take responsibility for it and try to change it. And then the empathy thing with placating or stroking someone's ego, I think makes that worse, because then they think, oh, I'm not a bad person. And they might end up being like a jerk because it was sort of placated.
I feel like what you're talking about, Rochelle, is when people are like, oh, you didn't mean to. It's okay.
Yes, that's exactly, yep.
When they're trying to make you feel better about making a mistake.
Yes. Like you're trying to apologize and they're trying to say you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. But people will be like, I'm such a bad person. They do it in a way that's manipulative, like it's a strong sort of deflection type thing.
That's a different problem than what you were talking about earlier. It's still deflection. But when somebody else is doing it for us, when they're trying to make us feel better by telling us we're that it wasn't that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a big deal for you if you are violating one of your own values.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Or if you're a Christian, if you're violating a Christian value,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a big deal to you for that
Yeah.
reason. So somebody else trying to make you feel better by taking away the blame
Right.
is not cool.
Right.
Right.
I had this coworker once. She's a very strange person. Not a Christian, as far as I knew. Had a very strange lifestyle. She came up to me once, upset about something, and was stood in my cubicle and went on for like 5 or 10 minutes about how she was a good person and, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, what?
Like, what's going on
She
here?
was trying to make her, she was upset about something somebody said to her, and she was trying to make herself feel better
Mm-hmm.
about something. And it was that second thing you were talking about, Rochelle, where, well, I'm a good person. I didn't, I don't this, I don't that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah, like, why do you feel the need to say this over
To
and
come
Yeah.
to
over
me
and
of all
to
people and
spend
say this out of the blue. Like,
so
Well,
what
defending
is the point?
yourself by
Everybody knew-
deflecting the blame.
Everybody knew I was one of the 3 Christians in the office.
Ah.
I think there might have been 4, but I'm not
Mhm.
certain about the 4th one. At any rate, so she came to me for some reason to absolve herself of something.
Mhm.
I don't. It was so long ago. It was like 20 years ago. I don't remember what it was about, but she wanted me to say that because she was a good person that she would go to heaven or something like that. And I'm like, that's not how it works.
Exactly how this works.
Yeah. At any rate, it was a little weird. It was a little weird to be on the receiving end of that. But, I feel like we have to let ourselves be okay with being imperfect and having bad attitudes and, being people who do things like flying off the handle or
Mm-hmm.
manipulating or having controlling behavior. None of that's good. I'm just saying
Right.
we have to be okay with the idea that we're like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you're in recovering from trauma, I think you're more especially like that.
Yeah.
Than most other
Definitely.
people because you're trying to stay safe and
Yes.
you're trying to do
Mhm.
things that worked or at least seemed like they worked for you when you were little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to control and manipulate your environment so that people don't
Yeah.
hurt you. Maybe it's not malicious, but it's definitely there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's still hurtful and harmful to other people, especially as an adult. Because we're supposed to be able to grow past all that. But
Right.
we're still stuck at age 7 or age 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And our brains aren't developed quite right. And our alarm systems are just going off constantly over
Yeah.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is stuff's happening all the time and my brain is constantly on fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I want to control and manipulate my surroundings to make myself feel better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean I'm an evil person.
Right.
It means I'm
Yeah.
a hurt person who has, at least at this point, some self-control, but not as much as I'd like.
Yeah. And I think, it did work for a long time.
Yeah.
And just like most maladaptive behaviors, it kept us safe as children. And even into adulthood, some of us managed to keep it going a little too long. But at some point, we have to grow up. And this is
Yeah.
another way where we go, okay, I need to be honest. I need to be real. I need to align with reality, not what my traumatized brain is telling me. I think this is where good friends who will call you out, I've got 2 right here, and a really good therapist who'll contextualize things. Because I've said some things and I'm like, well, now I said it. What is she going to say? And she said, did you ever consider that you may be doing this? And then I'll be like, oh, otherwise I just stay in my head and try to do what worked before, but is strangely not working anymore.
Yeah.
Strangely, but really, as we become adults, it's what inevitably happens is the things just don't work anymore.
I'm going to try to put some context to this idea of things that we did that don't work anymore. Just sort of an example from my own path. If someone at church looked at me and they had this kind of expression on their face, I automatically assumed I did something. Mm-hmm. It was about me, and I did something to upset them, and I had to figure out what it was, and then I would have to go to them, and I would say, I'm so sorry that I upset you. How can I fix it? They never said a word to me. I just assumed that they did something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I could, if I don't go to them, I might act weird around them. Mm-hmm. Right? I might act nervous. I might act like I'm about to get hurt.
Yeah.
Or I might be weirdly angry for no reason.
Yeah.
Or avoiding them. Like if we had a friendship, for example, I started avoiding them without telling them why. That's all weird and not helpful to the adult relationship. And there isn't really a reason to behave that way.
Right.
Because they didn't come to me and say, you did this thing and it upset me. I just assumed. And so that would make me act very strangely, and it could be harmful to someone else.
Right. You could end up losing a friendship over that complete, weird track that things took because she happened to eat something for breakfast that didn't agree with her or something, that had nothing to do with.
Or something she's a completely different person she's having a problem with or struggling with or whatever. And you think it's about you.
Create a whole narrative.
Right. And at times I would go and ask them if they were upset with me. They're like, no. Why would you think that? Which also made me feel weird because now I've exposed myself.
Yeah.
That I'm even having these thoughts about that person, and that might make me want to avoid them also.
Because there we go. We're creating a narrative about that. Well, I just make a fool out of myself with people, and I get things wrong, and I'm a burden, or whatever the things are that we tell ourselves. These conclusions, these diagnoses we give ourselves.
I've asked people so many questions about things because I thought they were upset with me, that they got more upset with me because I wouldn't stop asking questions.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, I already told you. And I'm like, but. And I keep asking and hounding them. And, that's all maladaptive behavior, trying to stay safe by trying to get at whatever it is they're upset with me about so I could do something to avoid whatever punishment was coming my way.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense in the real world.
And so you could placate someone or, to somehow keep yourself safe. But none of that was true. When you were little, maybe it was.
Right.
With, a harsh parent or, whatever, the authority figure or something. But
yeah, so that's what we mean by maladaptive behaviors that can cause harm. When you add deflection, denial, and defensiveness into that mix, because you're already dealing with your brain's interpretation of your surroundings, which isn't accurate at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Although sometimes it is accurate, I have to say. It's a little confusing.
Yeah. But just assuming instead of questioning it.
Right. And then you add on all the deflection, defensive, denial stuff. And then it creates all kinds of problems, relationship issues between you and another person. And
it's exhausting.
It is. And things get confusing very quickly.
Yeah.
You're trying to. I appreciate, Stephanie. I just want to say I appreciate your straightforwardness, because when you confront me about something, it helps me to know what's going on, because I get confused. Someone else tries to confront me and then they're suddenly acting weird about it or whatever. It gets really confusing, and you're like, just get to the point. What do you want to say? Like, seriously.
If you're gonna be assertive, just say what you're thinking. Don't try to manage it.
Yeah.
And do all the
Mhm.
just say it. Like,
Just
what
say
is
it.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of times I'll be sitting there and, Steph will have asked me a question or something in one of our meetings. I'll be like, I don't know how to say this. I'm not sure how to put this. And she'll go, just say it. Because before, if I said it wrong, I got in trouble, but I'm not 5 and these are my friends and I can express what's inside of me. I can do it without getting in trouble.
Right.
It seems like forthrightness is so rare these days. Like, people just don't say what they mean. I don't know what. I mean, I can't say I don't understand, because I certainly have done that myself. But at least now on this side of the fence, so to speak, I understand the frustration of just be straightforward, and then they're just like all over the place. And you're like, just tell me what you mean, please, or what you want, please.
Right. Right, because it's not clear to me. I have comprehension issues and people are talking to me and I'm like, I don't know what this person's saying to me. Just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave.
Boys, smile away.
And the thing is too, if you already feel bad about yourself and somebody's saying like, I don't understand, and you're and could you I don't understand what you mean by that. You could be like making assumptions like, I'm not saying it right, or she's looking at me in a way that, like I'm doing it wrong, or something. And she just wants to understand. It's not that I'm being grilled by this harsh parental or, authoritarian teacher. Why would you, whatever. Like, I don't know.
I feel like we've gotten a little off track. We got sidetracked by
us getting sidetracked. What?
Something.
Shocker.
I don't even know what we got sidetracked by. But it's been an hour and 1 minute, so I want to try to sum up.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we said. Try to make a summary here. Okay. There we go. So we're talking about deflection. And we're defining deflection as when someone is confronting us about something and we push back blame and responsibility on the other person, because we don't want to feel bad about ourselves. We don't want to see the pattern. We don't want to deal with the responsibility of it, whatever the reason is.
Mm-hmm.
People with trauma have a tendency to do this more unconsciously, although sometimes consciously and deliberately, because most of the time, because we already feel bad about ourselves and we don't want more proof that we're bad people, that we're shameful.
Yeah.
And that can create all kinds of problems when you have relationships with people. They don't understand why you're acting so weird, first of all.
Yeah.
And then when you start deflecting, blame and responsibility back at them, it can make things worse, because, our egos are so fragile anyway. They don't understand why we can't just own up to our mistake.
Right.
And the key here is to recognize that we are all people who make mistakes. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've experienced or, what's happened to you in life. Everybody makes mistakes, but mistakes aren't bad. They're actually good, because mistakes mean you have an opportunity to learn. You have an opportunity to grow. If you can't see yourself as someone who needs to grow, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can see yourself as someone who needs to learn and to grow and to become a better version of yourself, then when you make a mistake, you can own it. You can take responsibility for your behavior. You can apologize properly. And you can grow from it. And you can learn how to behave in a better way for the future.
Yeah.
So that's my summary. Did I do a good job?
Good job. Yay.
Anything you guys want to add to that?
I don't have anything. Anything you want to add, Ev?
Oh, you pretty well summed it up.
All right. Well, if you get nothing else out of what we've rambled on about for the last hour or so, there you go. Summary of what we talked about. You can just skip to the end. Oops. Just skip to the end.
Skip to the end.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so I don't really feel like I have much more to say on this. I don't know about you guys.
Oh,
Nope.
I think we pretty well said what needed saying.
Yeah, so now coming up, Evelyn and I are going to Japan. So I think we'll be able to do one more.
Yeah.
Next Monday, and then you guys will be gone for a week.
The following Monday we'll be flying. I mean,
Right.
the plane will be flying. We'll be in the
So-
plane.
Make sure you look up and wave at them.
Yes. We're leaving on the 20th and we're coming back on the 26th.
26th. Yep.
26th. I think I'm not going to be able to do a podcast coming back from that. So I think we're going to miss 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we'll be back after that, hopefully. Hopefully we'll be recovered enough
Hopefully.
to be able to get through this,
To function
get
and
through a
stuff.
podcast. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll see you in a few weeks. Pray for Evelyn and I as we get on a plane and head west to Japan. We're going to be training with our teacher, our concho, in a place called Nikko. So we're going to be in Tokyo for a day or two, and then we're going to be headed out to another area called Nikko, and then we're going to do some training and sightseeing and whatnot, and staying in this looks like a fabulous hotel with a hot spring in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. See some people from all over the world.
Yes.
which is one of the cooler things about international martial arts communities.
Mhm.
There'll likely be some people from Poland, England, Spain,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Norway. I'm not sure about that one. America for sure. 'cause
America.
we're going.
Be some Americans there.
There'll probably be some Australians because I know there's a group in Australia. Yeah, so it's, pretty exciting. And this will be my second international trip. Well, can you count Canada? I don't know.
Yeah,
Kind of. I mean, it's in the same continent.
I mean, I've been out of the country
Yeah.
three times. But the last time I got on a plane and flew for 20 hours was back in 2002, right after I got married. Went to Africa. So it's been about, 23 years or so. I
Yep.
think this is Evelyn's first trip anywhere.
Pretty much.
Major trip anywhere, I should say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing it together. We're gonna be buddies. Hopefully they'll see us together on the plane. And then roomies,
Mhm.
the hotels. Yeah. I don't know that I want to be doing this with anybody else except maybe my husband.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you learned something about denial, defensiveness, and deflection. And we hope that you can learn from what we're talking about, learn from our experiences, and grow yourself and let yourself be a person who makes mistakes and recognize when you're making a mistake and learn how to correct it and apologize and do all the good things that we need to do in order to keep growing.
Yep.
Keep going and keep growing.
Growing. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it.
All right. Well, push all the buttons. Smash
Do all the
like.
things.
Smash like.
Do all
all
the things. We got to do the dance,
Do
Rochelle.
the
Okay,
comments
let's do
in the comment section.
Leave us a comment. Give us some feedback. Whatever.
Tell your friends.
We
Share.
appreciate, if you're listening to this, we appreciate you.
We do.
Yep, sure
No
do.
doubt. So have a good day or good night, good whatever. I'm Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
I'm Rochelle Knapp.
Bye.
See ya.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks so much for joining us as we discussed such an important topic. We hope you got some food for thought and encouragement to keep going and keep growing. See you later, Bear Club.